Hey everyone, if you're someone who loves mysterious stories and the secrets behind unseen universes, then today, we're diving into one of the most mystical stories in human history, the story of Enoch, a man chosen by God to embark on a miraculous journey through the 10 heavens. This isn't just any ordinary story. It's a journey full of mysteries that Enoch went through before the great flood covered the world. Are you ready to step into the mysterious world of Enoch? Stick around to find out what he saw during his journey, and why this story can change the way you view the world around you. Let's get started. In ancient times, long before the great flood submerged the world, there was a righteous man chosen by God. His name was Enoch, the son of Jared. Enoch was wise, a great craftsman, and God took special favor in him. God took Enoch to a mystical place, a place no one had ever seen, to witness things that were beyond imagination. So, what happens when a man is taken through the heavens, where the very existence of the universe itself could change? What happens when an ordinary person like Enoch enters the divine scenes that no one dares to even imagine? Imagine being chosen to witness all of this. And Enoch, with all his curiosity and humility, recorded everything he saw in his book, the second Book of Enoch. So, what did Enoch witness? And why are his experiences so important? Keep watching to discover the incredible journey he went through. Enoch recounts that at the age of 165, he had a son named Methuselah. He lived for another 200 years, completing a total of 365 years in his life. One day at the beginning of the month, while Enoch was resting in his house, he felt a strange sense of unease. This feeling was different, like something significant was about to happen, but he couldn't understand it. What was it that caused Enoch to feel this way? Then, suddenly, two men appeared before him. But don't think these were ordinary men. Guys, they were unlike anyone Enoch had ever seen. They were so tall that no one on earth had ever seen anything like them before. Their faces shone like the sun, their eyes were like burning light, and fire came forth from their mouths. Their clothes were purple, their wings shone brighter than gold, and their hands were as white as snow. At that moment, Enoch was filled with fear and dread. But then, one of the men spoke. "Do not be afraid, Enoch, the eternal God has sent us to you today. You will ascend with us into the heavens and witness things you can't even imagine." Now, can you imagine what Enoch must have felt when he received this invitation? To be asked to ascend to the heavens, to witness supernatural scenes and the mysteries of the universe. It sounds like a dream, right? So, what did Enoch do? Without hesitation, he quickly left his house, called his sons Methuselah regime, and God, and told them everything the two men had said. "Listen, my children, I do not know where I am going or what will happen to me, but you must remember this. Never turn away from God. Do not follow those who do not honor him, for they will perish, and so will those who worship them." After giving this instruction, Enoch was taken up by the angels and lifted into the first heaven. And when he looked down, he saw a vast sea, greater than any earthly ocean. But that was not all. He was led to places no human had ever set foot in. He saw angels governing the stars, treasures filled with magic, and the mysteries of the universe unfolding before his eyes. But the journey didn't stop there. The angels took Enoch to the second heaven, where he witnessed a scene full of gloom and despair. There he saw souls imprisoned in darkness, awaiting judgment. The angels in this realm appeared even darker than earthly darkness, and they wept endlessly. Enoch felt immense compassion for them and asked, "Why are these souls being tormented like this?" The angels explained, "These are the apostates who turned away from God. They did not obey his commands and followed a leader who was also imprisoned in the fifth heaven." Enoch felt sorrow for them, but he had to ask, "Why are they being tortured like this?" And the answer he received will make you ponder deeply. Then, the angels took Enoch up to the third heaven, where he saw gardens filled with sweet-smelling trees, and the fruits they bore were like nothing he had ever encountered. The most incredible sight, however, was the tree of life. This tree brought eternal life, and it was adorned with an indescribable beauty, shining like gold and fire. This was the place where God rested when he ascended to paradise. Can you even imagine such a place? A garden full of extraordinary trees, with the tree of life shining, bringing eternal life to the righteous, a scene that no one on earth has ever witnessed. But Enoch saw it, and he recorded everything. As Enoch continued his journey, he was led higher, deeper into the wonders of the heavens. And let me tell you, what he experienced next would make anyone question everything they know about the universe. Are you ready for this next part? Trust me, it's going to be mind-blowing. After witnessing the beauty and serenity of the third heaven, Enoch was taken to the fourth heaven, a place that revealed the true mechanics of the celestial bodies. There, he saw the sun and the moon in their full glory, but this time, it wasn't just a simple view of them in the sky. Enoch was shown their movements and how they created day and night. The sun's light was greater than the moon's, and Enoch marveled at how the sun moved faster than anything he had ever imagined. The sun didn't just rest, it never stopped, constantly making its way across the heavens, driven by 4 great stars. And here's where it gets even crazier. Each of those stars had 1,000 stars beneath them, Imagine witnessing the sun in its full force, surrounded by these incredible celestial beings, and knowing that the very movement of the sun and moon was controlled by divine beings with immense power. But hold on, it gets even better. As Enoch looked closer, he saw flying creatures of unimaginable beauty, phoenix-like beings with the body of a lion and the head of a crocodile. Their wings, 12 in total, sparkled with an otherworldly shine. These creatures accompanied the sun, making sure it rose and set in perfect order. The sun wasn't just a ball of fire, it was a cosmic creation that had an entire system of guardians and elements attending to it. Now, just think about this for a second. These incredible creatures, the phoenixes and Kolkadri, weren't just mythical beings. They were part of a much greater divine design, moving in perfect harmony to ensure that the sun and all the stars remained in their rightful places. But what if this was just a small part of a much bigger picture? What if the whole universe operates under the same kind of perfect unseen order? Enoch wasn't just witnessing the sun's movements, he was beginning to understand the divine intricacies that governed the heavens and earth, and the deeper he went, the more mind-blowing it got. The two men who were guiding him then took him to the eastern gates, where the sun rises. Enoch saw 6 great gates, each with a specific purpose. Each gate was large, measuring 61 stadia and a quarter of a stadium. And get this, the sun passed through these gates every single day, moving through them according to the changing seasons. It was a perfect cycle, a perfect rhythm. And the sun didn't just rise and set, it followed a complex and precise set of regulations that controlled time itself. Here's the hook. If the sun's journey is this detailed, can you even begin to imagine the level of divine precision and control over everything in existence? The stars, the planets, the seasons, all of them are part of a larger, divinely designed system that most of us can't even begin to understand. And yet Enoch was there, witnessing it all firsthand. But the sun's journey wasn't the only thing that Enoch was shown. The angels didn't just stop at the east, they took him to the western gates, where the sun sets. Here Enoch witnessed another 6 massive gates, which were opposite to the eastern gates. This time, Enoch understood that these gates played an equally vital role in the sun's journey, making sure the sun's light was regulated and balanced across the earth, and to make sure everything remained in harmony. 400 angels were tasked with guarding the sun. Imagine 400 angels working together, each with their own specific job, all to ensure that the sun didn't veer off course, that the light would shine and retreat in its rightful place according to the divine blueprint. Enoch was beginning to see just how vast and intricate God's design truly was. The sun wasn't just a source of light, it was an entity in itself, a part of a cosmic balance that held the entire universe together. And the craziest part, the sun wasn't alone in its journey. The moon, the stars, and all the other celestial bodies followed a similar path, each with its own set of rules and guardians. The moon had 12 gates it passed through, each marked by precise timings, each gate having a specific number of days for its cycle. The sun and moon weren't just astronomical phenomena, they were part of a divine symphony that kept everything in balance. And here's the catch. What if all these heavenly systems aren't just in the sky? What if they reflect something deeper? Something in our own lives, a divine order that we can't always see but that's always at work. The more Enoch saw, the more he began to realize that the heavens weren't just distant, unreachable places, they were intricately connected to our own world, and every movement in the sky had a purpose. Then, Enoch was taken up to the 5th heaven, and believe me, what he saw there was unlike anything he had encountered so far. Are you still with me? Because this next part is intense. In the 5th heaven, Enoch saw legions of angels called the Gregory. These angels were unlike any others. They were giants, towering and fearsome, with faces that were withered, their mouths silent in eternal stillness. There was no singing here, no joy, only a profound sadness. When Enoch asked about them, the angels guiding him explained that these were the Gregory, fallen angels who had once defied God. They had broken their vows and come down to earth, seduced by the beauty of human women. Their actions led to chaos and the birth of giants, monstrous beings of great violence. The Gregory story is a tragic one. They were once heavenly beings, but their pride and disobedience led them to betray the Creator. They now remain in torment, awaiting their judgment. This is a harsh reminder of the consequences of turning away from God and abandoning His laws, and as Enoch stood there, he couldn't help but feel the weight of their punishment. But here's the thing, despite their rebellion, they still had the chance for redemption, or did they? Stay tuned, because this part of the story is just the beginning. As Enoch continued his journey through the heavens, the next step was even more incredible. The angels took him higher, to the 6th heaven, where he witnessed something truly inspiring. This place was home to 7 bands of angels, each one brighter than the sun itself. Their faces were radiant, and their voices sang songs of praise to God without end. These angels weren't just worshipping, they were the ones who kept the balance of the universe in check, managing the stars, the seasons, the rivers, and the fruits of the earth. Imagine angels in charge of everything you see, from the weather to the plants that grow around you. They were the guardians of life itself. Enoch was stunned by their beauty and their purpose. But then came the seventh heaven, the highest of them all. Here Enoch saw the Lord sitting on his throne, surrounded by armies of angels, cherubim, and seraphim, all singing, all in unison, and all filled with endless light. Enoch trembled in awe, knowing he was witnessing the very presence of God himself. The Lord was majestic, radiant, and utterly beyond comprehension at this point. You might be asking yourself, what happens next? What could possibly be more amazing than seeing the creator of the universe? Well, here's the mind-blowing part. Enoch was then taken to the 10th heaven, known as Aravoth, where he beheld the indescribable glory of God's face. His face was like molten iron, glowing with fire. It was a sight so overwhelming that Enoch could not describe it in words. The divine beauty was too much for any human to understand, yet Enoch was allowed to stand before it. He was dressed in garments of glory, anointed by God himself, and was given the knowledge of all that had been created, the heavens, the earth, the seas, and everything in between. And the message here: God's plan is far beyond what we can see. His creation is perfect, and the divine order is flawless. Enoch was chosen to witness these truths, not just for himself, but for all generations to come. Now, the big question: what will we do with this knowledge? Will we turn toward God, seeking righteousness and understanding, or will we ignore the divine mysteries that Enoch witnessed and live in ignorance? Enoch's journey reveals God's power, justice, and love, a reminder that everything in the universe exists for a purpose. And as we reflect on his journey, we must ask ourselves, are we living in alignment with that divine plan? Thank you for joining me on this journey through the 10 heavens of Enoch. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. And until next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. Shalom.